As we know, there are 3 reasons to manage safety. We've covered the moral reason, today is financial, and next will be legal.
Let's continue with the main topic, the financial motivations behind maintaining workplace health and safety standards.
If you find this content valuable, please like, comment, and share. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel.
We aim to use easily understood language so that new learners can grasp the NEBOSH IGC concepts effectively.
A quick note. The primary goal of this series is to convey complex knowledge using real-life professional examples. If you missed those introductory sessions, simply scroll through the playlist to catch up on Element 1.1 before proceeding.
In Lecture 2, we discussed the moral arguments for safety, common barriers, and the fundamental question of why we manage health and safety.
We will also cover insured and uninsured costs. As a reminder, our previous lectures covered the course introduction and moral reasons for safety.
We will break down the costs of accidents into 2 main categories, direct costs and indirect costs.
We are sticking with Element 1.1, specifically examining the financial reasons for managing health and safety in the workplace.
Welcome to the HSC Crew channel. In this video, we continue with Lecture 3 of the NEBOSH IGC series, focusing on Element 1.1.
Welcome to the studio. As you can see, we've optimized the lighting and added some greenery for a clean, professional look. This clearly demonstrates the upward trend. Pay close attention to this specific metric as it informs our strategy moving forward.
We know there is a loss, but calculating the exact figure for this diverted management time is extremely difficult. This lost time is a massive financial leak. We cannot easily quantify exactly how much value was lost because the manager wasn't working.
Management must prepare reports, visit the hospital, deal with relatives, and attend court proceedings. All this takes time away from their actual jobs.
A major indirect cost is the loss of staff time. Productive work stops so managers can investigate the incident and write reports.
While these costs result from the accident, they are much harder to calculate or estimate precisely.
Now let's move on to indirect costs. These arise as a consequence of the event, but are not directly involved in the immediate accident.
Any bills the company pays for the worker's medical recovery or hospital treatment are direct, quantifiable costs.
Finally, we have rehabilitation costs. This includes medical treatment and therapy to help the injured worker return to health.
These fines are definitive amounts paid by the company as a result of the case, making them a clear direct cost.
Then there are fines. If the company faces criminal proceedings, any penalties or fines levied by the court are direct costs.
Keeping workers late to cover the production deficit requires extra wages, a cost that is directly traceable to the accident.
To recover the lost production from that shift, you may need to pay other workers overtime wages, which is another direct cost.
When work is suspended to manage the injured worker, the cost of that specific downtime can be estimated and counted as direct. There is also lost production time while managing the immediate aftermath, such as administering first aid or waiting for an ambulance.
Consider lost or damaged products. If a fire destroys inventory, the value of that wasted product is easily quantifiable.
Since you can easily calculate exactly how much money is required to restore the facility or machinery, this fits the direct cost category.
We also have repairs. If the accident damaged equipment or the building, the invoice for fixing or replacing those items is a direct cost.
When a worker claims losses in court, the specific amount the company must pay to compensate them is considered a direct expense.
Then there is compensation. If the worker sues for damages, the settlement amount paid to the victim is a quantifiable direct cost.
Next is worker sick pay. If an employee is recovering at home for 10 days, the salary you pay them during that absence is a direct cost.
The first direct cost is first aid treatment. This covers the immediate care and supplies used when the injury occurs on site.
Let's break this down. First, we will examine the specific examples of direct costs associated with an injury.
Think of direct costs as the bill you pay immediately, while indirect costs are the hidden ripple effects of the accident.
Remember, direct costs are those directly involved and measurable. Indirect costs are consequential and harder to count. Let's look at a scenario. An employee is injured at work. Try to identify the potential direct and indirect costs.
However, if safety failures force a company to close, it's not just the owners who suffer, but the national economy takes a hit too.
Through exports and revenue generation, a safe and successful company contributes to the nation's financial stability.
For example, if a company is manufacturing quality products for export, it financially supports the entire country's economy.
Safety failures don't just hurt the company. They can impact the broader economy as well as individual organizations.
The key characteristic of indirect costs is that they are hard to count, estimate, or quantify accurately.
Indirect costs arise as a consequence of the accident. While they may not involve immediate cash, they are significant.
Second are indirect costs. These are consequences of the event that are often difficult to put a precise price tag on.
These costs fall into two buckets. First, direct costs, which are measurable expenses arising directly from the accident. Whenever an accident occurs or a worker falls ill, the company inevitably faces a financial burden.
The financial argument is simple. Accidents and work-related illnesses cost the organization money.
Safety regulations are not suggestions. They are mandatory, designed to protect every worker on this site, ensuring everyone returns home safely.
We've identified several key factors, but the primary focus today is on the legal or perhaps the social reasons driving this initiative. Next are legal reasons. Every business must comply with the laws of the country they operate in.
And so the narrative shifts. We now turn our attention to the law, where true justice begins.
The core of this discussion revolves around the legal, or perhaps more accurately, the social reasons driving these changes.
Imagine 4% of everything the world produces being wiped out simply due to accidents.
This represents the whole world. And if we break it down, this right here is just a small slice of it.
This represents less than 5% of the total volume. Yet, the implications for the next quarter are absolutely huge.
This suffering translates to a loss of 4% of the entire global gross domestic product.
We must recognize that safety is inextricably linked to the global economy. One cannot function without the other.
As you can see here, the cost is staggering. A full 4% of global GDP is lost. This impacts us all.
These numbers are incredibly high, representing a massive amount of human suffering.
We are dealing with a massive influx. The sheer volume of the requests has completely surpassed all previous metrics.
This is nice, isn't it?
Globally, there are 270 million workplace accidents and 160 million cases of disease annually.
270 million accidents and 160 million diseases.
We've covered the tragic losses, but now let's shift our focus to the recovery. As you can see here, the non-fatal injury statistics present a different picture.
The data highlights a staggering figure. 270 million accidents occurred over the past decade.
It also includes respiratory diseases like asthma or cancer caused by inhaling toxic dusts.
It's right around this area where the pain starts, and taking a full breath is almost impossible.
It's not just the pain today. It's realizing this changes everything for whatever time I have left.
Focusing on this section, we see the inflamed airways typical of chronic bronchitis. Now contrast that with the alveolar damage in emphysema.
For instance, noise-induced hearing loss happens when a worker is exposed to loud machinery over time.
I need the measurements for the foundation. What? I can't hear you.
Listen to the wood. Precision comes not from speed, but from patience.
I see. It is much smoother now.
Indeed.
We rely on our ears for hearing, and deep inside here, our lungs are working constantly.
And talk your step tomorrow. An occupational disease is an illness contracted directly because of the work you do.
It's important to understand the nuance. Jealousy is the fear of losing something you have, while envy is wanting what someone else has.
Of those deaths, 2.4 million are caused specifically by occupational diseases, not accidents.
We often confuse the two. Illness is a betrayal from within, while injury is an intrusion from the world outside.
The data is stark. We're looking at 2.4 million fatalities from occupational diseases.
That is nearly 2.7 million people. A massive loss of life due to poor safety management.
This number here, it might seem large, but if we break it down, it's roughly the same as everyone in the room having an extra hour every week.
And by substituting the variables, we arrive at 42. This number specifically is the critical component for solving the rest of the equation.
When we include diseases, the number rises to 2.75 million work-related deaths per year.
When we look beyond the battlefield, the scope of the tragedy broadens significantly. We must account for all.
As this slide highlights, we are looking at 2.75 million work-related fatalities each and every year. This is unacceptable.
A fatal accident means a loss of life. That is 350,000 families destroyed annually.
Fatal, simply put, means resulting in death. But it can also describe something that leads to inevitable failure or ruin.
The skid marks start here, approximately 5 feet back.
Document the debris field thoroughly. The scene is critical.
The most concerning figure is the 42% increase in fatalities shown here. This trend is simply unacceptable.
Every year, over 350,000 fatal accidents occur in workplaces worldwide.
When we look at the data, the scale of the crisis becomes clear. The shocking figure is this: 1 million species are now at risk of extinction.
Over 350,000 work-related fatal accidents each year.
The International Labor Organization, or ILO, provides staggering statistics on global safety.
Welcome everyone to the ILO Safe Work Program. Today we will discuss the 3 pillars of workplace safety and how they apply to our operations.
Authority on this subject, this volume right here,
confirms that the trends we are seeing are unprecedented in modern history. Let's explore the moral reason in depth. It's about the ethical responsibility we owe to one another.
Welcome to the Workplace Safety Briefing. As you can see, we are all responsible for protecting our colleagues.
When we peel back the layers, the ethical dilemma is stark. It forces us to confront the very definition of our humanity.
The moral reason for managing health and safety is paramount to everything we do here.
So remember these three drivers: moral duty, legal obligation, and financial sustainability.
To finalize, the data clearly supports our expansion strategy moving forward. Thank you for your time.
This brings us to the key takeaway. By implementing these strategies, we project a 20% increase in efficiency by Q3.
Welcome. Today we're covering the three pillars. First, we have the foundational concepts. Second, the practical application. And third, the ethical considerations.
From damaged equipment to lost production, every accident negatively impacts the bottom line.
This isn't just a local initiative. The scope of this project extends across the entire continent, touching every major demographic.
The breadth of the damage is unprecedented. We are looking at a systemic failure that will cost us dearly in the coming quarters.
But look at this chart. The scale of the loss isn't just unprecedented, it's almost unimaginable in human terms.
We divide these costs into direct, indirect, insured, and uninsured losses.
वो both direct and indirect.
As you can see, the cost structure analysis breaks down into three core areas: materials, labor, and overheads. We need to optimize the second line item.
Welcome back. Are you ready to review the assignments from last week?
Finally, the economic reason. Accidents cost money, often far more than preventing them does.
The Javopolins. The financial impact of these recent market shifts cannot be overstated. We are looking at significant changes across the board. The core of our discussion today revolves around the economic, or rather, the financial reasons for our expansion.
Failing to comply isn't just risky, it leads to severe penalties, lawsuits, and even imprisonment.
This is not a game. The repercussions we face if we fail are absolute, and time is running out.
Welcome to the 2024 Strategic Overview. Looking at the key performance indicators, our market share has seen significant growth in the last quarter.
Legal reasons are critical. Every country has specific laws that businesses must strictly follow.
Here's the updated tablet.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
I am truly grateful for your kindness.
It was my pleasure.
I'm glad I could help. Don't worry, we can review this section again. Take your time and tell me what you understand so far.
If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to catch the rest of the course.
Hey everyone, we're going white. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you here today.
What's up guys, and welcome back to the studio. If you're new here, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate the support.
You're on the right track. Keep going. Share this video with others who might benefit from this safety training series.
Go ahead and share this video with everyone you know. Thank you for watching.
Look at what we accomplished together. This mural truly represents the spirit of our community.
That's an insightful observation. Who else would like to share their perspective?
I think the historical context is crucial here, Professor.
Exactly.
If you gained value from today's detailed explanation of element 1.1, please leave a comment.
What exactly are they talking about in this section here?
We are always striving for excellence, so please be candid. What feedback do you have for me to improve?
Please stay tuned for that upcoming video. If you found this session helpful, consider subscribing.
And that concludes our story for today. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
We will also distinguish between insured and uninsured costs to better understand financial liability.
Understanding the different types of insurance is the first step. We have life, auto, home, and health coverage, each designed for specific needs.
The insured cost covers the bulk of the expenses, but the uninsured cost, as highlighted here, is significantly higher and needs to be addressed.
We will explain the difference between direct and indirect costs of accidents.
It is. When we look at the overall expenses, we identify three primary cost types: fixed and semi-variable.
Let's look at the breakdown. We have the direct costs associated with production, and then the indirect costs, such as administration and marketing.
We will dive deep into the financial reasons for managing safety, a critical aspect for businesses.
Throughout this episode, we will explore the key strategies defining the landscape, followed by an exclusive interview you won't want to miss. As you can see, the financial reason for managing health and safety really boils down to minimizing risk and ensuring long-term stability.
In our next video, Lecture 3, we will continue Element 1 and focus on financial reasons. Element 1.
why we should manage workplace health and safety.
The moment we've all been waiting for is almost here. Believe me when I say, the next video will be worth the wait.
It's beautiful up here, isn't it?
Yeah, almost as beautiful as you.
We have now covered the moral reasons and the ripple effects of accidents in detail.
Well, that confirms the completion of this topic. I appreciate your input.
That's a great question. If we adjust the timeline here on the tablet, you'll notice the pattern becomes much clearer in the diagram.
So, a single accident affects everyone: the injured worker, the company's finances, and the management's reputation.
The impact is widespread, affecting communities and markets far beyond our initial projections.
Welcome back. I hope you had a productive break. Let's dive into the next chapter.
Ultimately, a high accident rate damages the middle-aged male line manager's professional reputation and career prospects.
We often underestimate the career consequences of seemingly minor decisions. The impact can follow you for decades.
The data highlights the strong reputation of our male line managers in their 40s, with satisfaction scores peaking at 90%.
Managing shift coverage and justifying overtime costs becomes an added headache for the manager.
Administrative stress, a silent killer in the modern office. John found himself drowning in a sea of paperwork, the deadlines looming closer every day.
They must invest significant time into retraining a replacement, adding to their daily workload.
The training burden is significant, and it affects everyone in this organization, myself included. We need to address this challenge head-on.
As highlighted here, the time and cost associated with retraining a replacement significantly impacts our budget and efficiency. The Caucasian female manager loses a skilled and competent Caucasian female team member, reducing the team's overall effectiveness.
The capability gap fundamentally represents the disparity between our strategic goals and the resources we currently possess to achieve them.
This is the key takeaway. The loss of skills from the team has reached a critical point.
Finally, let's consider the line manager.
The accident impacts their team directly.
Next up in our Meet the Team segment, we have Priya Sharma, our new Senior Line Manager.
The hardest thing we face is looking inward. But personal accountability, taking ownership of our actions, is
Turning now to the effect on the line manager. As you can see here,
Following an accident, the company's insurance premiums will increase, raising operational costs for years. And
When we look at the long-term damage, the numbers are staggering. This isn't a short-term setback, it's a generational burden.
The data clearly highlights the increase in insurance premiums, which have risen by 15% over the last 2 quarters.
इसमें हम पे जोड़ेंगे वो क्या होता है तो दो जिस पे ब्रिमनीदा दे आप तो सबसे नदी उसके लिए नहीं गुजार रहा है.
Furthermore, the state may impose heavy fines or initiate prosecution for negligence.
Be aware that unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this material carries severe legal penalties, including significant fines and imprisonment.
This brings us to the core issue, the potential for unlimited fines and, crucially, director prosecutions under the new guidelines.
Insurance excess is the percentage of the claim, often 20%, that the company must pay out of pocket.
Imagine this is the total. Now, if we divide it like this, perhaps a 3-to-1 ratio, the distribution becomes clear.
The technical term here, idempotence, essentially means that an operation will produce the same result no matter how many times you execute it.
The key concept for today is excess. Now, this occurs when the quantity supplied is greater than the quantity demanded at a specific price.
They will also face insurance claims, which includes paying the deductible or excess fees.
Let's talk about the core mechanics of your insurance plan. There are 3 main things you need to know to maximize your benefits. Focusing on the claims data, the excess portion is critical. This is where we see the most significant leverage for improving our loss ratio next quarter.
If the male worker cannot return, the company must bear the cost of recruiting and training a replacement.
As you can see on the slide, the recruitment costs for replacement have seen a significant increase.
To cover the lost productivity, other male workers may need to work overtime, increasing costs.
Understanding your operational costs is the critical first step to scaling efficiently. We must analyze both fixed and variable expenses.
The company is often required to continue paying sick pay while the employee is absent.
The direct costs break down into 3 main areas. We have materials, labor, and the associated overhead. Let's look closely at the payment of sick pay. This new regulation impacts how we calculate entitlements for all full-time employees.
You look really happy today. Something good happened.
I just love spending time with you like this. It's perfect.
Ow, that's sweet.
Now, let's look at the company. They face significant financial burdens as well.
This brings us to the strategic projects section. Our focus remains on operational successes and continued market expansion.
This photograph truly captures the heart of our mission. It's about empowering these young people through education and support.
If they are the sole earner, the financial and emotional impact extends to their entire family.
Esto nos afecta a todos, hija. Pero juntas podemos superarlo.
Tengo miedo, mamá, pero gracias.
They will likely lose time at work, which often results in a loss of wages and income.
The financial loss wasn't just numbers on a page. It was the realization that our security had vanished overnight.
Focusing on the lost time and wages columns, the data clearly indicates a sharp decline that we cannot ignore moving forward.
The most immediate effect is the pain and suffering the individual has to endure.
When we discuss the physical consequences, we often overlook the long-term effects. Things like persistent fatigue, joint pain, and muscle weakness are common.
Turning now to the data on the screen, the effect on the injured Caucasian male employee was substantial, both physically and psychologically.
Cinematic outro music fades to silence.
Stay safe, and we will see you in the next lecture.